this is Lena making Bespoke Craft Designs. I've been having a play with the faux vellum. Now I must say it isn't as good as the real vellum, but I just wanted to have a play with it and see what I thought. So I've had a go. I really enjoyed doing it. I love the feel of it after it's done. I love how it's turned out. And it is a lot different to the original paper, because this is just copy of paper. It is a lot different, but it's not as clear as vellum. So I just wanted to make that point, but I still like playing with it. So I thought today I'd show you some of the bits that I've made, what I've done with these bits, and I'm making one or two little bits. So this bit here, I haven't got many embossing folders, but this was just a flower one, and I've just done that on a plain piece of the white. And then I had some bits of book pages that I said to you I'd also done these as well, and that I've just used the book page and then put it through a little tiny embossing folder. In fact, it's like an A5 size and there's 4 different ones, but it was that effect I wanted, and that is just lovely. And it's got the writing down the side, so I really thought that was lovely. Again, it looks different. It's not what you'd call the vellum, but it really does look different, and it's just another effect. I really like it. And that's just took in a couple of the other 2 on the folder. Just grabbed those 2 which I'd use for something else. Probably won't use them in this one, but I just thought I'd show you our one. Oh, that's the full piece. That's what the folder was. It's this that I really like, but I thought I'll do all 4 and just show you what that one was like. This is just a bird on a leaf, and that's come out quite well. I've used the flower one again on the vintage letter, and although you can't see it that plain, it really does look quite effective. And that's a different bird one with 2 leaves either side, which I quite like. And these are just these ones again that I just really fell in love with and thought I'd try. Now on this one, this was just the mop-up paper out of a book, and it's made it so strong, as I said, but as I say, it's not like vellum, but I'm going to use it because it's really different. It's what I've made, and I've done the flowers on that, and when you're looking at it, it looks like you've got different coloured flowers. I quite like the effect of that one. So I've just been looking at my journal and having a look where I can put something. And this is just a bag that I've cut down to size, and I've just done a bit of background stamping, and I want something on it. So I thought I'd use one of these embossed images, but I didn't know which one. That's the bird on the leaf, just in the white, but it's like a creamy, this background with that white. I'm not sure about that. What colours have I got nearby? Nothing particularly that's going to cause any problems. Bit of green there. I do really like that bluey one on there. I really like that. So I'm just looking at, do I just want a plain... This is a bit of music paper, this. It's got a bit of... It's like the front cover where it shows you the keyboard. I quite like that. Oh, there's 2 of those that I've just used. Oh, I did a bit of music paper when I was doing it, and I said I'll use it in something. Quite like that. What does that say? Cars used in this song, it says on it. Oh, I could get away with that, I think. I think I'm going to put that on there. And I'm just going to, where it's embossed, it's given me like a border. So I'm just going to cut the other bits of the border off, not the one I'm particularly doing, just to take the other bits off. Like that. And I could either have that as a little slip in there, or just glue it down. I think I'm going to just glue this down. So I'm just going to put that on there. Do I want something just peeping out of it? Let me have a look. That's a bit too thick, so I say I haven't got a lot of stuff. Oh, I've got a little stamp there that I've just seen. Yeah, I might just do that with a little stamp just peeping out the top before I glue it down, and just glue this on here. You can see what's going on underneath. Not real clear, as I say, but it looks really effective. I really do like it. So if you really want the clear vellum, then you can use tracing paper people have used for it, and it is a lot clearer. But I didn't have any, and the whole point was, because of the virus and we're staying in, it was to do something and try something with what you've got, because I'm doing as much as I possibly can to go shopping as least as I possibly can, because I'm protecting myself, protecting everybody else, but mainly concerned that my husband doesn't become ill. Oh, nobody wants it, but I don't want my husband to get anything. I've not found it difficult stopping in, because just more time for me to craft. I've loved it. What I have found difficult is not seeing those loved ones that you want to see, and they stress about going shopping. That's the bit I found difficult. But if it helps sort the country out and, you know, keep everybody safe, then it's a little price to pay, really. There we go. Well, that was quick and easy and simple. Just sort of just decorated that up. I've just put a little bird on there and just a little piece of that. I like that one on there. Now, is there anything else I can do in here that I liked? I did do something. Did I want something on that one, did I say? I don't know. It's quite bulky, this one at the front, so I don't want anything there. I didn't know whether to just put... I've just got the end of one of these. And I think what I'm going to do on there is I'm just going to break this down just to take off some of the actual edges. And then I'm going to turn one edge in, I think, and I'm just going to clip off a tiny bit so you can't see where I've bent it over. I've just made myself like a little folded bit there, like that. So I'm just going to glue this flap down where I've folded it over. Because obviously the thing with the real see-through vellum is you can see all your glue and you have a difficulty doing all your glues and things. So what I've done with this one, I've folded it over so the top bit hasn't got glue straight underneath, it's actually under there. But I also have done some of this, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that down there just as a fancy piece, and it also covers up the glue. I know the glue is going to come through this one, but you won't see it as plain because it's not just white. Now, some of the embossed pieces I'm going to use in another project that I'm doing on the next video, so I'm not showing you a great deal, showing you what I've done, but I'm not showing you a great deal of what I'm doing with them in this journal. I just thought I'd do a couple. So when that takes hold, you can't now see the glue. It's slippery at the minute. I'm just letting it take hold. That's it. And then it's just got like a little flip, just for a bit of interest, just something different. But you could clip it down again. I could come in with a paper clip or something and clip it down like that. But I quite like that. I will be making some other stuff that I'll be including in some of my videos. I'm going to leave that open. So that's all I'm doing actually in the journal, just to show you. And then I want to make some other bits. They're just odds and ends that I've got there. I don't want those two. These are the ones that I could cut out the flower that I did, and this was what I made an envelope with. So these are some of the papers that have already been done, and you listen to that, how lovely it sounds. But it's still got the really crinkly sound. So I've made some envelopes, and I've made some like little tiny bags. Oh, I thought I'd stuck then, it hadn't. Made some little bags, and then you can either leave them plain or decorate them. So that's just some coffee dyed paper that I've gone straight over. I'm just looking what I want to make. Oh, that's quite interesting, that plan. I wonder if I make something with that. And then these I did. These are just my flowers out my garden that I've put under my printer, copied it onto copy paper, and then used the oil. So I'm going to use one of those. And that's where my printer had finished and it had all gone purple. So I might use one of those just to make a bag. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, that's that little bit of music paper that's left. So I say there's loads more bits in here that I'm going to use for other things, but just for the purposes today, I'm going to try and use some of these, and then I'll show you the ones that I've already done. Let's have a look at this. What I'm trying to do is not waste any, and it's so good. I'm not going to get that ground plan in there. Right, I'm just going to cut this bottom off because I don't want to waste it. Oh, I apologise. That's somebody coming to the house and the dog's telling them off. It'll be the post. I've done a video earlier today. I mean, they're not all going out at the same time, but I have done a video earlier today, and he laid on the floor with me, as good as gold, snoring throughout the video. But now it's that time of day when people are walking about and visiting, and he's having none of it. So what I'm going to do with this, I want to make one of these little bags, but rather than just a plain one, I'm going to use this paper with the planning on. I've just cut a tiny bit off the bottom. These are vintage papers that I've just copied. They're quite old ones. I don't think this has got a date on this piece, and I can't just remember. But I've got the original, obviously. So I think that's the width that I want there. For this, I don't need all that on the backing. I'm just trying to see how much I need because I've got to overlap it a little bit at the back. So I am going to leave all that on for now, and then cut it down to the size that I want it. I think I want it to be more or less the same as this one, so I'm going to go with it, just go with it a little bit higher, then I can trim it down, and I'm going to cut it to that, like that. Then I've got a lovely bit left. Look, I can make another one with that, not on camera, but I've got another bit to make. So I really like this. It's really interesting, that one. So now I just want to cut a bit of this down, and I do my seam sort of on the side, and I just go just slightly over so I can see that I have got enough to put my glue down, and then I'm just going to cut this bit off. I might have to go back in and straighten it up because I'm not very good at straight cutting, and it is still too big, but I've just done it there just to see where I want it, and then I can straighten it up. So the next thing is to do the bottoms and the top. I like to put a little snip in the top, but when I use my cutter, it's a big cutter, I've only got a big one, the paper gets stuck in it, so I'm just trying to find a bit of scrap paper. Yes, I just get a bit of scrap paper and put that. I'll try it just on one side. I don't know whether I need it on both, so I'll put it in the back so I can see where I'm cutting this, because I want this. So at the moment I've made two sort of little seams, so that's the size of the paper that I want, and I want to try and get this as much in the middle as I can, my hole, so where I'm going to cut a bit out. So I'm just putting this paper in the back, so hopefully it'll help cut it. So I am just going to look, yeah, I still want a bit off. And what I've done on these, I've used my fancy scissors, and I've just trimmed a tiny bit off this top, like that. I've got that fairly square in the middle, so I've trimmed it like that for these ones. And then before I glue this up, what I want to do is fold this bottom over. So, I'm sorry, he's still barking, he's still telling somebody off. Move that out the way of the camera. So that's the piece. So as it's opened like that, I want this piece off here and this piece off here, and just leave this to flip over. So the piece in the middle, that's going to be your middle piece, it's going to look like that at the end, is the piece that you leave your extra piece on the bottom, and then you just cut these ends off. And that's the same whether it's on vellum or whether it's on paper or book page, do it the same. Go right up to the crease and the mark, and then just slightly, so you just have a little bit of a curve there, just so that it's doesn't catch on anything when you're doing it. And then the same with this one. I really do apologise, I don't know why he's going on so long. I might have to go and fetch him and bring him in here with me. It's because there's a window and he can see out the window, and he thinks he's protecting you if he's barking at the window. I mean, to be honest, I'm that used to it. I don't always hear it. My husband will say, he's barking. It's like, doesn't it get on your nerves? I say, I'm just that used to it. The only thing I don't like is if it annoys the neighbours, because, you know, you don't want other people's dogs barking all the time. But we've not got anybody adjoining us or anybody that close to us, so it's more when people go past it affects them. Right, Right, I'm not going to do the fancy scissors up there, but I am just going to cut a little bit off that and just try and cut it a little bit straighter. And I want that bit. Which way around do I want that? I think on this occasion, I usually do the smallest piece on the top, but because this has got a little bit of the drawing on it, I'm going to do it that way. Put that bit over the top. So I just need to make sure that's fairly straight, and luckily it is. I've just cut a little bit off this bottom so that when I turn it in, it doesn't catch. I am just going to, haven't got much left on this turn up. I'd forgotten I was going to go in with my clippers, so I'm having to go right to the very edge on there. What's it? Tiny, tiny little bit clipped off, and it's just give that fancy edge on the bottom. See? The same as the top. And then I'm just going to glue it down. I am going to use, oh, I know what I wanted to try and show you, because I bet I can't find it now. When I was doing all my tidying up, I found a glue that I used to use all the time. Is it in the, if I can find it? Oh, it is, it's here. And it's this one. It says it's clear drying craft glue. It's a Nouveau one, and I haven't bought it for doing joint journaling. It's just nearly a full bottle that I had that I used when I was doing cards. I used this all the time, and I'd forgotten I'd got any left. So I've done some with the Fabri-Tac, and then I'm just going to put some of this down it. It's off. And I just like to put it underneath where I'm going to glue, so it doesn't glue. If it spills over, it goes over onto the acetate. Oh, well. Now I don't know how that'll dry where I've wet it. We'll see. That's a test to see how that does. And then all I've done there is I've just put this in so that when you press this down, I might have to put something on there because it might be a bit sticky on that one, but I put it away with all my card making stuff and just bought different glues when I was doing my junk journaling. When I started doing them, obviously I followed step by step what people was doing, because I'd never even heard of junk journaling. I'd done some scrapbooking, but I don't like all the measuring, as I've said before. So when I found junk journaling, I thought, this is really me. I love it. Yeah, so that's just a bit wet while I've just washed that off. But you can see the effect of how lovely that looks with the planning on. Just really different. I don't know whether this one's big enough to do another one or not. I wonder if I can get anything out of that. I may be able to do. I just wanted to try it. I'll leave that end there, but I do need a flatter end at the bottom. So let's have a look. See if I can manage to do this one without messing it up. Well, that's got the name of the song in the background there. Quite like that. Right, so I've done this one right to the crease on this one, so I'm not gonna mess that one up. I didn't do that on purpose, it's just the way I've done it. So I'll cut that bit off there, and let's have a look. So this is going to be the bottom. And this is going to be the front. So we'll cut a bit of this off. And this one, I am just going to trim this with these scissors, but I'm not going to put the little half moon in. I'm just going to leave it flat like that on this one. But I am going to glue that down to there. And this time I've put the little bit of the flap over on there, but I'm not going to glue it first. I'm going to cut the bottom. So again, just fold your bottom up a little bit. Like that. And then make sure you can see your crease lines. Again, this is the bit that's going to be showing the front. So it's these two edges that, oh, let me move those bits out the way. And my big scissors out the way. And just cut on that line best you can. If you go just above the line, what you find is when you fold it over, you don't actually get it catching on the crease line. To go just above the line and then curve round into this piece that's staying. And then when you go from here, you can either turn it right round and follow your crease line again to cut. So follow your cut line there and go just above it, and then just swing round again. And all it does is it gives you a little bit more gap there when you fold it that it's not going to catch. And this I've just put a tiny little bit out of there because I went just above the fold line, so that when you fold that down, it's not going to catch on anything. It's not going to fold it up and catch it and it be bulky. I am just going to just slightly trim that because I don't think I did trim it enough. So I'm going to just go back in and just trim it a little bit more. You don't have to take a lot out, it is only a little bit, but I didn't quite get above the line, I don't think. I think I started on the line. Yeah, so that's that one. And as I say, this is not really, well, it isn't vellum, and it's not as good as using the tracing paper. But I say again, I didn't have any in. And the whole point was to get people interested to use things that they had. And I still think it's good. I still really like it. It was really fun to do, as I keep repeating. So I'm just folding that up. I say I want to see what this glue looks like, and then I just quickly get in there, and you can either put it in first like I did the time before, or if you forget like I just did then, just make sure you put it in. I sometimes do this with a ruler. If I just haven't got a piece of that, I'll put my ruler on the crease where, well, there where the crease is, and just, you know, press it down. If it comes out of my ruler, I just wash my ruler off. But as long as the two don't stick together, it doesn't really matter. So that's quite cute. I quite like that. Right, let me just clean this glue lid off. That's it. Put the lid back on. And then right, just get some of those edges off before we measure it up and make sure it's level. So I'm just going to make this one into the envelope. I personally like the other style, the bag style, and just put a flap on them and make them into sort of like a wallet envelope rather than these. Just my preference. I like them as a taller one, so I'm just going to do these ones as sort of a more of a square size. So again, just make sure you don't go in too far on this line, because this is the front bit and you don't want a difference on this edge. And then just at the corner, cut it off and do the same on this side. You'll have seen loads of people doing this. I'm not doing anything any different. I'm just doing them with the papers that I like to use. And then going across this top line here for this bit I want out, and just slightly over, and then just to make a little bit of a dip there, leaving these two edges on, but just going in from here and up. Took me ages to get this right, so that's why I'm just doing it. I'm just thinking there might be people like me who can watch it, and then when they come to do it, couldn't get it done. It was ages. And then you've got a little bit left on there, and I like to just take those off. So I just let me just have a look. So the first thing I'm just going to do is I'm going to just put a little dip. Sorry if you can see me shaking, I'm having a shaky day today. Hands aren't very steady today, so I do really apologise. And then I'm just going to trim that to that. Just take that little piece out. Just a little snip out there like that. And that's just how I do mine. And then you can either, that's just got a rough edge, you can either snip it off or not, whichever. And then all you do to glue these down is just glue these edges. I had a bit of a practice with both the Nouveau that I was using and the Fabri-Tac, and I couldn't see either. So what I'm just going to do on this, I'm just going to do one with one, one with the other. She says, oh, it is coming out. I didn't think this one was going to come out. It gets blocked up really quickly, this one. I think you're supposed to, well, I don't know, I do always wipe the lid, but it's really good stuff, but it does just block up quite quickly. I like it. I don't know how long it gives you. It's that long since I've used it. I think it does give you a couple of seconds to use it before you have to, because I'm doing both together. I mean, I'm just using this because I found it. I don't think I would buy it again now. I mean, I loved it for when I was making cards. It's just that I do love my Fabri-Tac for anything that like this where it's had grease on it, so it's obviously not going to stick to straight on with just the glue stick. I love my glue stick, but I also do like the either the 3-in-1 or the Fabri-Tac, whichever. Yeah, so just make sure you haven't stuck them two together. And that's it. Now that one I just think is quite pretty, and I'm going to leave it like that. And then when I come, because I'm not sure where they're going, I've just dropped me a bit of plastic on the floor now. And then this one, I'm going to try and do this as a tall one if I can. I don't know whether it's going to, what it's going to do, this one. Too tall, this. I don't think it's going to do anything. I just love this. Oh, this paper's turned out. This one's turned out really lovely. Now this is very tall and thin, but I thought I've got use for this. That's why I wanted to do this. I'm just going to cut that bottom off so it's a bit more level, because I've not got the fold very level. And then fold that up at the bottom. And then before you glue it, I do mine before I glue anything. And then I'm doing the same at the top on this one. But I've not folded the sides in because I'm doing it more like a wallet on this one. And then this is the top I'm just going to cut out. So I'm just going to cut straight on that line, and then just slightly over this line here, just to give a little bit of a shape, and then do the same this side on that line to that middle, and just to give that bit of shape there. And then I'm going to do the bottom pieces again. Have I done this? Ha ha ha, deliberate mistake. Done that the wrong way round. Oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, no, no. Sometimes I thought I had. I thought I'd done it the wrong way round. Right, to there. Over there. Again, I've just gone in slightly there so that it doesn't catch when we fold it up. So I just want that little bit off where I didn't go up. Turn this in, and that will have a seam. And then I've done that one as a tall envelope. Now, if I was doing an A4 journal, that would be quite tall because that would be the size of the journal. So I'm thinking about putting this in the inside front cover for something. So that's why I've done it like that. I like them. I'm going to do another one of them because I really like them. So I'm just going to do one more of them. And again, this is one of the papers that I've made myself, and I love this one. I really think this one's pretty, and it's just with lace, and then I've sewn on it, and then I've when I've put it through the copier, I've put it on a piece of paper that had some paint splashes on it and coffee dyed, and that's how it's turned out. As I say, I mess about doing that a lot. So I'm just going to go down there so I can get it a bit more straight than I had the other piece, because it was just a piece I had. I think what I've done with these is I've cut the edges off first so that I didn't do it on screen, and I've not cut exactly straight, which I don't, and I haven't used a cutter or anything, so I'm having to line them up as I'm doing them. So this one doesn't really matter what sort of pattern goes where, really. I think I'm going to do this seam a little bit more down the middle of this one, just show a bit more of my dodgy stitching. I just went wild on the sewing machine out, and I just went up and down, just went wild, and I really liked the effect. I think I'd got some something stuck in the bobbin, and then when I practiced I thought, oh well, I've messed this up now, I might as well practice on here, and then I thought, oh, I haven't messed it up, I like it. Yeah, so this is going to be another tall one, and I'm not doing a lot of decoration on these. I'm leaving them more or less as they are because I just like them the way they are. If I decide at a later date I will put some decoration. I might do once I've decided where they're going, but at the moment I just like them the way they are. As I say, I just thought this was a real easy, simple process of different things you could do with your own made bits, and I like doing it. Oh, I haven't. That's it. Gosh, I am shaking today. Dear me. I'm just going to turn this one in again. And this is going to have a fold on it. It's not just going to be open like a bag, it's going to have a fold on, so I'll show you the different ones I've done in a minute. And then just go up there again. I can't do it backwards way on. I have to turn the paper around and go this way on. And just come up that. And then just put that on there. Put your little flap down, and then I'm going to glue that along there. And you just have to remember, as I say, I always put something in. On this one I'm going to put my ruler in just because my ruler's longer. And it saves you looking for a bit of acetate or something. I can't always find it because it's see-through on your glass mat. I can't always find it. So yes, I've left enough of a gap there just to go over. I'm just going to chop a bit out of this because it's not quite level with the other side. So I'm just going to chop a little bit out like that, just to make it a bit more level at the top. See if that's better. Yeah, that's better. So this is just, you put anything in it that doesn't stick to it, but I do it with either a bit of acetate or just my ruler, and I've left just enough room. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on this. This is just I will call it Fabri-Tac. It's 3-in-1. And they're both made by Beacon, so I don't know what the difference is really. But it's smells exactly the same and does exactly the same, just incurs a different cost. Yeah, so that's nice and stuck there. And then I'm just going to do this bottom. Just while my ruler's in, and then it won't stick to itself. And then again, I just give it a little waggle just to make sure. I just love those shapes. I just really love those. And then this one's just the same thing. I'm just going to do this one up. I just love how this paper's turned out. I love this one. So let's have a look what I'm going to do with this one. Put that in there on that line, and put that one that way. Or do I want that over the top? I haven't left myself a lot of room on this one, to be honest. Only a bit, enough, but not a great deal. So I'll just have to make sure my ruler does, nothing seeps out. So let's just, I'd like to give myself a bit more room than that, just so that it doesn't seep out. There we go. It's enough, it's done it, but let's give it a good. And then I've got a little bit here that's just not going to fold very well, so I'm going to chop it off. And again, do the bottom one up. And you can either put a really skinny tag in here, or I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. I'll bring that in on the next video when I'm actually using these. And this one I did just forget to clip a little bit out of here, and I wanted a little bit clipping out, so I'm just going to go back in and do it now. It's better to do it before you glue them together, but I've done it afterwards. There you go, and that's that one. And I've just managed to get the flowers just where I wanted them up the front, the little flip there, and I really like that. So that's it for now for those ones, and I'll be back to you shortly with another video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and keep safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.